everybody. Kathy and Mark, Cinemondo, trailer reaction. I don't even have the little banner up. How dare me?
What?
I know. Here we go. There it is.
This so people aren't confused about what they're watching.
Exactly. We have to tell people what we're doing.
It's always a good day when you find out there's a new Nick Cage coming on the horizon.
Yes, and that's usually every 3 weeks because he does a lot of movies.
I feel like we get him on the podcast. He seems like he'll do anything. Look, but I have.
Oh, look at that. A Nick Cage pillow.
Yes, Al. Just he's talking. Hey, what's going on?
So Nick, what's with your face? You got some issue? You got some acne? What's going on?
I'm in character.
You're playing a pimply guy.
I do a terrible Nick Cage, as you can tell. I was just awful. But Nick Cage does Nick Cage very well. So
he does.
That.
Yes,
I was very excited to be able to work on Long Legs, the poster for that, because that's like
cool.
Oh,
Oz Perkins,
so good. Oh my
Nick
God, so
Cage, good. Micah Monroe.
I got to see it early at a screening room all by myself. I didn't know what it was about. No idea. I knew it was Oz Perkins, so I was excited for that. But it was so good. So anyway, my Nick Cage.
And Nick Cage was in a really good little, like a thriller called Arcadian, which was sort of like this post-apocalyptic thing where he was a father to 2 kids. Anyway, he's lately his movie choices have been really good. Like they've, and he's really good in these movies.
Yes.
And so what if he does, 15 a year? It doesn't matter. They're all cool and interesting, and he always brings something really good. And this is the latest. It's called The Surfer, and it stars Nick Cage, and it's directed by Lorcan Finnegan, who is an Irish director who did Vivarium, which came out a couple of years ago with Jesse Eisenberg. If anybody remembers that film. Yeah, they moved into this house. All the houses looked the same. There was something weird going on there. It was really sort of like Twilight Zone-y and kind of interesting. Cool. Yeah. So it's a cool director, and it also stars. The film stars Julian McMahon, if you remember him. From,
I love him. Yes,
Nip Tuck, Australian actor, and Nick Kassem, who plays Nick's son in this. And I know I think it's filmed. Surfer Paradise is Australia, so I think it is set and probably filmed down in Australia.
Oh,
but that's all I know about it.
Apparently, there's good surfing there. I don't surf, so I have no idea. I love watching surfing, though. I love watching surfing. It's just
I love watching it too, but I know it's just not for me. But
I don't have balance. I don't have enough balance or the will to die like that.
Exactly.
I see those big waves. I'm like, how do you survive that? How do you survive?
I know. You have to have some guts to do it. But
let's check it out. Surfing is also a very strange idea. Like, what is that about?
I know. It's sort of a fish out of water kind of a vibe.
Fish out of water. He's surfing. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's check out The Surfer.
Let's check it out. Very excited. Okay, here we go.
Let's do it.
All right. What's the bird say?
You can't stop a wave. Born in a storm, way out to sea. Pure energy. And it's all building to this breaking point.
Locals only!
I grew up here.
Don't live here. Don't surf here.
Hey, Dad.
It's okay. You're scaring my boy.
Now.
Oh, no.
For all this Listen to me, brother. I know it's smart to lose face in front of your boy, but you gotta know when to back down, or it could get a whole lot worse.
I love the idea of daylight.
Yeah.
This is a special place for us.
Me too.
It was magic here when I was your age. My old house is finally for sale, and I'm buying it.
Just want to go home.
Wake up.
Locals only. Don't live here, don't surf here.
I'm not surfing. There's a view for locals only as well. Hey!
Smell like engines. You've got to release a little steam now and then or you'll blow up.
That's my board, and I want it back.
Listen, mate, I think you've been out in the sun too long.
No, my father gave me that board.
I can tell you myself, that old board's been up there for as long as I can remember.
She's a beaut, isn't she?
Even the cops.
I'm not trying to be cruel.
You don't belong here anymore.
All I want is to take my son surfing.
Don't kid yourself now. Before you can have everything, you have to experience.
Oh God.
Oh, boy.
Pathetic.
There's my boy.
That's a good
Nicolas
one.
Cage going nuclear. All right. So a little worried about some of the animals I saw in it. I get a little worried about that.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, that dog thing, and there was a rat in the mouth or something.
Or a crab.
Some-
I don't know what it was.
a crab. Maybe it was a crab.
Maybe it was a crab.
Anyway,
that wouldn't be comfortable at all.
what I like, these kind of movies sort of are up my alley when you're sort of like, it's you against a group of, thugs or whatever, and set in some sort of, sort of area that where you're like, I want to be here, but they're not letting me do what I want to do. So, what I think, but of course I think, like, why don't they just go to a different beach?
Well, it sounds like that's where his house was when he was a kid.
Right.
And
I
he
know.
grew up there and he just wants to show his kid his old stomping grounds. I mean, I would feel the same way. It's like, okay, so it didn't work out. Let's go somewhere where there's no drama, because why put yourself through it? But
Right.
that wouldn't be a very fun movie to watch. Just someone hanging
Exactly.
5 minutes long. So
Right. No. And of course,
Nick Cage, the surfer, they get to the beach. Oh, you're not going to do well here. And then it's like, okay, we'll go to another one. Thanks.
let's go to a movie. Bye. That's what I would do.
Yeah,
Get with me, son.
yeah, I think that kid was an Agatha all along. I could be wrong, but he looks very familiar. But
Yeah, he's a good. I've seen him before too.
so that looked fun. It's funny they have this because we have a lot of drama on Malibu Beach. It's in Malibu. First of all, there's the residents there feel like they should own the beaches. The beaches are all public. You can't own the beaches. Nothing
Right.
is
No, it's
you
Malibu.
can't. You can go behind the biggest celebrity's house. That's allowed.
Yeah.
At some point, I think it might actually be further south, but there's a beach that has those kind of gang kind of surfers who don't want anyone there, and it's gotten really bad. So they've been
Really? No
trying to
kidding.
kick them out. There's been all this legislation going on about the rules over there. It's kind of crazy. So it's like it kind of was relatable because I've been reading a lot about like how the beach, the surfers can get very territorial because they want their waves.
They want their waves, and this
Right.
is the place that they have sort of staked out. They, a lot of them have their
Right.
vans. They live there, and they just that's what they do. But there's 29 miles of it's a famous sign in Malibu. There's 29 miles of scenic beauty. There's 29 miles of beaches. Like there's got to be some other place where you can go.
Certain areas get better waves.
Right, of course, the Ventura County line, and I'm trying to think of what the Beach Boys song. They say there's certain places where you go.
Were they naming all the good places?
Yeah, exactly. In Surfing USA, and it's like, oh, that's the one. Yeah. So, but I've never surfed, but I love watching surfing, as you said. It's really a cool thing to watch, especially as the sun goes down. It's really kind of classic California. But this looks, sun-beaten. I like that sun-beaten terrace. So it's like outdoors, like it's not night, it's day, and yet you're isolated.
Remember that movie Endless Summer?
The documentary about the surfing. Yeah, sure.
The poster it kind of reminds me of a little bit of an homage to it because it has the illustrated sun and the orange background, and I like how they threw in the locals only car being defaced. And Nicolas Cage standing there with his board. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, let me find that poster.
Yeah, no, it definitely has that vibe. The color, the orange, and then the yellow sun. And I think this is going to be right up my alley. Something I would enjoy seeing because I like when. And at the end, Nicolas Cage finally has had enough, and
he's gonna go berserk.
The crazy Nick Cage comes out, and that's going to be fun to watch. Yeah,
I want crazy Nick Cage. That's what we're all looking for.
So you get the sort of calm father Nick Cage for probably 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and then it gets a little crazier, and that's what we're here for.
It gets a little crazy. That you could see him on the edge. Like I remember when I saw Mandy, like that gave me everything I wanted from Nick Cage. This was Long Legs, where he wasn't in it a ton, but every time he was in it, it was like 100% great Nick Cage stuff. Like just quirky and weird. Like he was not wasted at all. Every scene was like him doing that. And he could do something different every time, but uniquely him. It's magic.
He brings something, and there's so many other films that we talked about of his that sort of he brings like the color. Was it the colors of the space of time or something, that kind of sci-fi thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so he's always bringing something good, even if the movies aren't quite up to snuff. But this one looks like it's going to be fun.
Looks really good. I love it. I love the whole setup. It seems very contained. It's gonna be like this really simple concept. It's gonna be him against
Aussies.
thugs.
Him against the Aussies. So,
all right. First of all, they do supposedly Australia is one place that I still want to go. I haven't been to Australia, but
it's fantastic.
I want to see it. One of these.
Yeah, I went many years ago.
Hard time. I'm leaving. I'm not going to stay and fight for it. I'm just going to bye.
No, it's a beautiful and wonderful people. I was there many years ago, and I said this is incredible. Even in Sydney, the biggest city, there's gorgeous beaches right in front of the right downtown. It's great. It's just like, how is that a clean beach? Like right?
Clean is the key.
Yeah.
So any last words?
So Nick, what do you think about The Surfer? Are you going to go to any premieres?
I think I'll do another movie. I'm gonna do another movie. Is what I said.
But that's Kathy talking. That's not Nick Cage.
That's not Nick. I know it's hard to tell for a second, but that was it. So bad.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing this one.
Yes.
Coming out. It's coming out May 2nd. So it's
ways off.
Spring movie.
Yeah.
But ready for the summer. So that's cool. So The Surfer, starring Nick Cage.
The Surfer, Nick Cage. Always a good news. It's always good news that there is a Nick Cage movie for the summer.
Absolutely.
Coming. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Nick Cage pillow in there. So let's start that over. Okay.
Okay. Actually, you can't see his face.
Guess he is kind of blocked, isn't he?